Hello, everyone. For this particular video, I want to talk about assignment 2 and the requirement. This video will be very short, like lasting 5 to 10 minutes, so I highly recommend you to watch this video. Okay, so first, open on Quackers, and you can see under your course module, I uploaded a list of files naming assignment 2 supporting materials. For here, this is grading rubric. So please check the grading rubric and sample pick a question from 2022 cohort. This is just samples. Again, this is just samples because requirement changes. It doesn't mean that meeting such criteria, you will get full score. So they're just samples. And the sample of 2 articles, sample of 2 review tables. Please note the requirements for review tables have changed, have been updated. So checking grading rubric for the updates. And also what the synthesis look like when you analyze 2 papers. A significant change from this year is we adopt GBI study evaluation. So this is, we don't have any student samples for this section because this is the update for this year. Okay, we'll check one by one. Okay, so this is the grading rubric. This is the most important thing you are going to read before you start your assignment 2. First, check the deadline. So for this time, except you have accommodation letter, no exception will be accepted. You'll be deducted points if you missing the deadline. Pre-approval. Most of you have done a good job to send me your articles for approval. So that means you save your time and any risk for redo your assignment. So for this time, if you are required to do your assignment 2, because the ineligibility of your article, any late submissions will result a deduction of points, no exception. So please send your articles and pick a question to this email, not my personal email. Otherwise, I may miss your email. Okay, so pickle. Pickle is worth 2 points, and it should be a single page, including 4 components. Some students didn't include the components for assignment 1 and they lose points. So I want to highlight here, any missing component will result in a deduction of 1 point. For 2 experiment study, because the requirement by other sections to make sure we are consistent with other action, you will select 2 experimental articles. One is RCT, another is quasi-experiment study. You can see the contents of the GBI critical appraisal requires that 2 points for the RCT appraisal and 2 points for the quasi-experiment appraisal. So you will require to send me 1 RCT and 1 quasi-experiment article. Okay, and next part is quality of research strategy. I think all of you has done an amazing job for writing up search strategy. So for this time, I will give your points and credit for your work. So the search strategy is worth 1 point. You need to include inclusion-exclusion criteria, database searched, including the 3 databases, and also keywords. So if you lay out your inclusion-exclusion criteria, you will get points. And then if you write up your keywords, you will also get points. Highlight here, missing any of the 1 from the 3 databases will result in a deduction of 0.5 points. So make sure you search 3 databases. If you just search the 2 databases, you will lose 0.5 points. Another one is show your screenshot. And for the final search, this is worth 0.5 points for the screenshot. Okay, review table. Some students fail to use my review table template, and that's maybe a big problem. And I want to emphasize here, please use the review table template I provided. I will show you where you can find it. First, each table should be no more than 1 page, landscape orientation. For my template, I already adjusted the margins in the document, which give you more space. So please use that template. If it's more than 1 page, you will lose points, no exception. Because this tests your ability to summarize the key findings from the paper. And second part is the research question or aim or purpose of the study, not your pickle. Some students just write up the pickle question here. It is not correct. So you need to pick out the research question or aim of the study from that particular article. Okay, so the third is research design. It is more easier for this time because you are required to find one RCT, one quasi experiment. So your design will be either RCT or quasi experiment here, and it is worth 1 point. This is the most important part for the review table, in my opinion. Okay, next part is sample. Sample is different from sample size. You need 2 separate rows for sample and sample size. Sample refers to the participant. Who are they? Are they male, females, other genders, or are they from rural area? Some social demographic characteristic of the participant. And in contrast, sample size is different. Sample size just refers to the number of people in your participant, in your study. You can just use the format n equals to like 20, 30, 100, 500. That's it. So give 2 separate rows and tell me you know the concept of samples and sample size. I'm pretty generous of giving scores last time. As long as you have one of them, you only deduct one point. But this time, if students still use one row to represent sample size, you will lose 1 point, like 0.5 for both of them. No exception. And results and methodology, the same with assignment 1, and almost no student lose points. So I want to emphasize 3 strength, 3 limitation, no exception. If you only provide 2 strength, 2 limitation, or 1 strength, 2 limitation, you will lose points here. Same requirement for review table 2 for the other article. The contents of the GBI critical appraisal is the new content here. I'm going to talk to where is the format later, okay? So the thing is this, 1 page, double space, 20 points format, font, Times Newman. This is the requirement, worth 0.5. Failure to follow any of this, like no double space or just more than 1 page, you will lose point. This part, in-text citation, is the place most of almost 30 students lose points. I didn't adjust the grade because more than 70 students did this right. So some students lose points. For this time, I lowered the point from 1 to 0.5. So students lose points because they either fail to use in-text citation. For example, this study, what is this study? Is ABC 2020, year 2020, or is DF from 2016. So you need citation in the text. Also, it is a good habit with academic behavior. You need to provide a reference at the end of your synthesis, saying reference, citation number 1, citation number 2. It could be a separate page, a second page, not counted as the 1 page requirement, but you need to provide a list, at least the paper you discussed. You need this. So students lose points because they didn't provide a reference as a separate section on the second page. Okay, for the last part, there are 3 points. 1 point is you talk about the strength of the methodology in relation to the knowledge claim of the study. That's worth 1 point. And second, you need to mention the level of confidence in the study findings. That's worth 1 point. And the third perspective you need to discuss is whether you find this useful for clinical or macro social work setting. So this is the detailed grading rubric, and that's worth 20 points. And I highly suggest you to go through the grading rubric before you start working on that. Okay, so this is the individual assignment 2. You will find a grading rubric here, review table template, and the GBI template and description. Okay, so this is the review table template. I give you separator for sample and sample size, study design. And that's like 1 page. I already just margin to give you more space. And the assignment 2, for the GBI, you will see there's a very detailed checklist description here that's explained in detail about what does it mean for each category. Okay, so this is highly useful. I recommend you to read this. The last two are template. This one is the GBI appraisal checklist for RCT. Okay, the reviewer is your name and your date. This is the citation, the author, which paper, publication year. You don't have to write the record number. And for all these questions, you are going to give your comments. So all the details are listed here for this description file. Another appraisal is the quasi-experimental study evaluation checklist. Again, no need to see the record number, no need to fill out this number. And this is called the experiment, similar questions with comments here, and discussion of quasi-experiment explanation at the end. Okay, so again, this is a complete submitting list for assignment 2. You will need to title page for people question, GBI forms, 2 review table, 1 page thing exercise, and description of your search strategy, inclusion exclusion criteria worth 0.5 and keywords worth 0.5, and search 3 databases worth 0.5, and providing screenshot will worth 0.5. And also a separate file of your article is needed. Some students fail to give me the article, so I have no idea which article you are criticizing. So failure to upload the article for assignment 2 will result in your assignment not being graded. Okay, so this is my description of the assignment 2. If you have any questions, feel free to send me your questions.